Hello and welcome to day 10, and today's prompt is black and white. And as it's a Saturday, I've got space and time to experiment a little bit. And I wanted to pick up a painting technique that I'm sure most of us have done when we were children. So I've got some wool and I've got some thread. You saw me just using a bit of texture mesh there. I won't be using that later on, but I do use something different. I've got some watercolor paint in black that you can see me just painting a square there, but the predominant medium that I'm going to use today is acrylic paint in black and white and some string. If you wanted to give this a go and you've got a little bit more time than I would suggest you use all sorts of different thread widths and even maybe some ribbon, because you can get some really great patterns and marks using this incredibly childlike, wonderful game of painting string and putting it in between paper and then pulling it. So just to talk through, if you haven't done this before, the acrylic paint that I'm using, I'm watering down a little bit just to make it a bit more fluid. I'm going to dry the paint on this one, and the watercolor paint, they will both be dried solid. And then the next acrylic paint that I do, I put a band of watered down acrylic on that left hand side. And then this is where this texture comes in. This was wrapped around a jar instead of bubble wrap, I think, in the post. So I just use that to create some texture in the background. And all of those I'm going to dry until they are bone dry, and then work on top of them with string. And then I wanted to see what would happen if I did something onto wet paint. So I mix up some white paint and then pop in my black string and pull that down. Again, all of this is experimental today. So what are you going to see me do? You are going to see me coat a thin thread and a slightly thicker yarn in paint, black or white. You're going to see me sandwich that in between sheets of paper and then pull the thread and then open it up. And I wanted to say that I specifically chose to use a less dense paper in these. So this is just computer paper, because I knew that it would to some degree fray when I pulled it apart, because when you try and pull apart acrylic paint, it has a gluey texture to it, and so it would pull those apart, and even in that get some interesting marks. We are making pebbles, so actually those marks can be quite good fun. So you saw just there me sort of trying to pull that apart. You're going to see me do that, and then I use my stencil, my pebble shape of a stencil, to look over my dried painting. So I'm fully drying them before I cut into them or anything like that. This experiment was paint on both of the yarns, white on one, black on the other, and then pulling both strings at once to get this effect. Again, there's loads of experiments that you could do. This is quite an easy technique that you can take time with all day. Just make sure you're drying it, because it is acrylic paint, it's not watercolor paint. And then I end up with several pebble shapes, of which I choose one and pop that in my book. And day 10 with the prompt of black and white is complete. I wonder what you'll get up to. I'll see you tomorrow.
Up in a painted cup, I will pour my love from a cloud above. So bright I can see the lights, taking you up and above the blue sky. Tastes good to be drinking all of the honey sweet brew of ours. Up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. like a firefly. I believe to believe is to feel the fire grow within. I believe to believe is to see how the present comes from dreams. Up, up, up in a painted cup, I will paraglide across the sky. Let flowers and tiny hearts shaping a line in the cup of ours. So sweet like a honeybee can buzz around a honey tree. Up, up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. Like a firefly. I believe to believe is to feel the fire grow within. I believe to believe is to see how the present comes from dreams. Color in my love, love, love. 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 Up, up, up in the painted cup, I pour my love from a color in my love, love, love. Tastes good to be drinking all of the hot and sweet. Color in my love, love, love. Up, up, up in the painted cup, I pour my love from a color in my love, love, love. Tastes good to be drinking all of the hot and sweet. Color in my love, love, love. Color in my love, my love, my love, my love, my love. Color in my love, my love, my love. Ooh, I'm coloring my love, my love, my love.